Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with y'all young boys and young females, man? It's your main man, the myth, the legend, the guy behind the microphone slash camera phone, cause your boy ain't got no camera. Chillin' Tim 185. And right now, I'm finna give y'all my reaction to the Russell Westbrook trade. My boy is a Houston Rocket now. And I'm finna go pull up the trade and see what kind of deal it was. Cause I know Chris Paul was added to the deal because of his enormous contract. Cause him and Westbrook, he was thrown into the deal to match the contract. 'Cause, Westbrook has a big contract, and so does Chris Paul. So let me see. Let me just hold on, do my little research here. Yeah, man. Russell Westbrook is now a Houston Rocket, man. And my thoughts on it are how are him and James Harden gonna mesh? Because they played together before. They've been to the finals before, but I've never seen them in like their peak. I've never seen them play together as Harden is in his prime and Westbrook is in his prime. I've never seen them play together in their primes before. We've always talked about what if James Harden stayed with the Thunder and the Thunder re-signed him or whatever. Well, we're kind of getting pieces and shards of our basketball enthusiast fantasy. We're kind of getting a slice of that right now, and I feel as if the only way it's going to work is if Westbrook makes better decisions because he tends to make dumb decisions, especially in the playoffs. Like when they were up 3-1 against the Warriors and Game 6 was in OKC. Though Durant didn't have a good performance, Durant didn't touch the ball for the last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter because Westbrook was out there trying to play hero ball when it didn't have to play hero ball at all. It was still a winnable game, and they were up by at least 15. They just blew the lead. Though Klay Thompson had an incredible, nigga was, he was letting shit ride. He was just hitting 3 out of 3, but that's beside the point. Point is, he should have kept giving Durant the ball or trying, making better decisions than jacking up contested mid ranges, throwing passes that aren't to people that aren't open. Just make better decisions. But besides that, I think the only way it's going to work is if Harden changes his playing style and Westbrook makes better decisions in the clutch and stops doing that desperation three-pointer at the end of games when your team needs a bucket. Because Harden now with the Harden situation is that Harden just needs to change his playing style because him trying to ISO, though it works, it will get you 50 wins. Though it works, it will not get you to beat upper echelon teams. Now this year it might be different because the playing field is even now because you got the Lakers with LeBron, AD, and possibly DeMarcus Cousins. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. DeMarcus Cousins could possibly get back to his prime form. It maybe could happen, but I don't know. He's had a lot of injuries, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. And like I said, Harden got to change his playing style because him ISOing, and this year he led the league in usage at like 47.5, I think. It was some astronomical number or whatever. But I'm saying all that ball, just basically, it's basically ball hogging. Like all the time you have the ball in your hands, you could use it to getting shooters open or saving your energy for the fourth quarter because that's mainly why he can never have that signature Harden game because he's doing all this carrying during the regular season, especially since Chris Paul was injury riddled throughout his entire time with the Rockets, which forced Harden to kind of have to be that superstar role, especially this year because Chris Paul went out with that hamstring. And I feel like they're going to have to run different sets to make Harden play more off ball because now you got a primary ball handler Westbrook. And Westbrook's a lot more athletic. He's a lot bigger, a lot stronger. And he's a little bit younger than Chris Paul is. Chris Paul was, let's face it, he was a shell of his former self. And he was aging right before our eyes, especially this year, because this year he really didn't do much. And they had to put him on restrictions, and they had to sit him out of games because they were trying to conserve him for the playoffs. And even in the playoffs, though, I mean, he balled in the last game against the Warriors, but by then it was already too late. And this year, this was their window to finally beat the Warriors, especially since when Durant went out, and it just didn't happen. They just folded. They folded. Curry went out and was a world beater. Hitting when he hit that three in Clint Capella's face. That's when I knew it was over. Everybody knew it was over by then. But that's all beside the point. All right, let's look at this deal. The Oklahoma City Thunder have agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul, a lot of first-round picks, the 2024 pick, the 2026 pick, and pick swaps in 2021 and 2025. And I'm gonna read this. This is obviously the first question we need to ask, and there is an equally obvious question: the Thunder. They get 2 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps for free. Chris Paul, all things considered, is arguably better than Westbrook to begin with. And they talking about him now. Chris Paul now, he's a shell of his former self. That's why I'm like, Chris Paul's good, but he's injury prone. And even then, he really doesn't have the same effect like he had with like the Clippers. And even then, the Clippers were cursed, but that's another video. And for them to say Chris Paul, all things considered, is arguably better than Westbrook to begin with. Both of these guys are players that might never win a ring. Now this year, this could change because Westbrook and Harden is a duo that could really work because the chemistry, they played together before. But like I said, the only way it can really work for real, is if Harden, shares the ball a little bit more and plays more with the ball outside of his hands, kind of like how Curry plays without the ball in his hands because they run a lot of sets to where he gets a lot of off-ball screens, like a lot of off-ball movement, and less pounding the ball, less dribbles, less isos, and with Westbrook, his shot, I don't really know what to say. I mean, I said what I said earlier, and it's like, Westbrook is like a iffy fit because at first I thought it was gonna go to the Heat or the Magic, but the Heat backed out of the deal because they don't want to give up Justice Winslow or one of their young pieces, and I understand that because Justice Winslow just had one of his best seasons, finally showed signs of that top 10 lottery pick potential that he had when he got drafted 10th by the Miami Heat back in 2016, I believe. So yeah, man. I think it's a good fit. I think it could work. Like I said, all things considered, Harden got to change his playing style a little bit, and it could be a nice fit. Seriously, the fit could be really good. It could really work. And this year's gonna be fun, man. This year is really gonna be something serious, man. And with that being said, your boy is going to be out. And to all you brothers and sisters out there, stay focused, stay safe, and stay out the streets. Love you.